Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to teach you a really exciting lesson on getting the most from your templates in Reason. I know it sounds stupid, but if you set up a good template, your songs are going to be much easier to work with. And if you follow these steps, you're going to have a much faster time editing, remixing, getting better sounds even. So without further ado, let's jump into it. The first thing that I like to do when I create a template, and it's already going to be in this template, but switch from song mode to block mode. And then in block mode, you create various blocks. Let's just click on block 7, and we'll rename this something like breakdown. And so now when you go back to song mode, if you select the pencil, I'm not actually using the song sections to create pre-built patterns, but instead I'm going to drag out a section here for intro, another one here, and another one here. Now I'll switch to the selector tool or hit Q, and you can drag down, and now this will be verse and then pre-chorus. So if you have a really long song, this is going to make it easy to tell which part of the song you're in, just at a glance by looking at the color or by looking at the words. And it also will make it very easy to just set loop to selection and just work on one part of the song. So this is definitely something you're going to want to start including in your templates. Trust me, this is huge. So before we go any further, I'd just like to take a moment to ask you to please like and subscribe. It's really important to helping me grow this channel and hopefully spread these types of tips with other users. And also it's just encouraging. If there's anything you think I should change, I'm happy to listen. Just leave a comment. And if there's anything you really liked, that would also be really nice to know. So the next thing I'm going to do, and it looks like I've already done some of it, although in the wrong spot, is, for example, create perhaps just already some automation channels on things like the master level, so that, I don't automate the master level every song, but this way it would be really easy to just hit Alt or go click on the pen tool and draw in, a build up or a fade in for the song, without having to worry about that. Those tools are just already there because those lanes are pre-inserted. It doesn't change everything, but it saves, 10 or 15 seconds when you're like really feeling it, which I find to be all the difference, for me at least in recording, is the ability to capture ideas smoothly and efficiently. And so that's why templates are really helpful. And that's why if you look at my previous couple videos about what's wrong with Reason 9, I don't think that it's anything major, but they are stumbling blocks. And when you're really in full-on creative mode, stumbling blocks really suck. So just moving along, here's another thing that you're going to want to do. Go to the master section, hit tab to flip it around. Now you've got the master out here and you've got the control room outs. And what we're going to want to do here is set up the ability to side chain the kick drum so that you can get keying going on this master compressor. Basically, this will just allow you to make it so that the kick drum doesn't always drive the song if you don't want it to. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I'd say more often than not I do, so I have this as part of my setup. And this allows me to quickly get it in or out without having to waste, a little bit of time getting it in. So just the easiest way to do this is to take an effect like the propeller head. I don't know why Reason device is separate from propeller head software, but again, see my gripes. And the stereo imager. So what this is going to allow you to do is basically select it. You go solo high band. So this means that only the high frequency sounds get it through. And then take the crossover frequency, which basically says where the high band and the low band split, and lower it to like 100, 120. It's going to depend on your song. So this now means that only frequencies above 120 or 107 hertz pass through the stereo imager. So what you're going to want to do now is take the audio input from the insert effects and take the audio output from the stereo imager and send it to the dynamics. And now you've got the key light on or off, and this will now control what goes through. You can raise it, you can lower it, you could solo the low band instead of the high band if that's what your song wanted. And you can bypass it if it's not right for the song. So also you don't want to use the control room out, because then the compressor is already, basically the control room out is like the master out is the final spot on the mastering section. And so if you're feeding the final loop of the mastering section into the compressor, then it's also compressing itself, which doesn't actually work as well. So that's why you want to use the insert effects. It comes prior in the signal chain to the master and control room out, and that will give you a more consistent sound to work with. Then, if you're into two-bus processing, or processing your master bus, as it's sometimes called, you can also put your favorite effects on the master section. And I'm going to do a video about what I like to keep on my mastering section. But just to show you, just as an example, you can put a leveling compressor and then, an EQ, or whatever you're going to want to put on here, whatever you use the most, and that way they'll be readily available at your disposal. Finally, well, not finally, but also, if, let's say you use a mastering plugin, or I guess more a maximizing plugin like Ozone or the M-Class Maximizer, you're actually going to want to do this not in the insert section, but between the master section and the audio output section, because the master out comes later than the insert effect, and you want to maximize the final sound, right? And when I created this, I should have hit shift, so it wasn't connected to anything. But you're going to want to have the master out going into the maximizer, and then the maximizer going into the audio output. So now your entire master section passes through the maximizer and into the audio input instead of interfering along the way. And the final thing is that this is where I would also set up my effects sends. And I'm going to show you in a video how to do that the right way instead of the wrong way. But just a quick preview, basically. You would do utilities, create mix channel, and then you patch this mix channel from effects send 1 into the input here. And now, because it's a mixed channel, let's just call this reverb. And I'll tell you why you want to do this in another video, but you've got reverb here. So, and then we just insert like a reverb. And now when you go to the mixer, you've actually got the reverb channel here that you can use. And so you're going to want to set up your 6 or 7 most used effects. And you also want to rename them here. But I'll get into that in more detail down the line. And then also what you want to do is create, for example, an effects bus. So this way you can easily have your bus processing in place, any busing that you want to do, any settings that you like the compressor to be at. And by doing this will really, you take 10 minutes now, but you will really streamline your mixes in the future. This is totally worth doing. And I hope I've encouraged you to explore all of the different ways you can use Reason templates to make your songs better, make your music production faster, and succeed in the music business. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon.